Now when you lose your life and burn up in hellfire. But tell me why you live your life like this. Tell me why you live so devilish. So when Jesus already died for your sins, so by no volunteer to perish, you got to take it easy. I used to sing the song with that brethren, you know. We come and get gunned down. Yeah, it was called Taking It Easy. But come and lost your life, so I said take it easy. Take it easy. Yeah, man. Just tell them, man, take it easy. Watch it. Somebody can't sleep comfortable in the night, cause them might not have ease. And them got to sleep with gun under them pillow. And anything move, them by ready for squeeze. Cause when them squeeze trigger, and when you figure, guns and bombs are what them buy, them prefer. And live better, know when you suffer, know when you lose your life and burn up in hellfire. But tell me why you live your life like this. Tell me why you live so devilish. So when Jesus already died for your sins, so by no volunteer to perish, you got to take it easy. And this one what me do for the youth in the ghetto. Easy. And this one what me do for the youth in the ghetto. Easy. Easy. I said I take it easy. Yeah. Oh man. I'll tell them by them that there must be a better way. So look at what I want when you bust it up. I know you can't like catch straight. Your friends will tell lie with you because the class you was a bad company. But look at what you go on and do. But when you kill out a whole family, or when you squeeze trigger, or when you figure guns and bombs are what them buy, them prefer a little better. Know when you suffer, know when you lose your life and run up in hellfire. But tell me why you live your life like this. Tell me why you live so devilish. When Jesus already died for your sins, so I no volunteer to perish. Take it easy. And this one I just have to be and get it easy. In Jesus' name, I just want to take it easy, boy. You know why I take it easy? Cherry beats, make me talk to them youths on the streets, yeah. Why you don't want to take it easy? Yeah. Pass me the microphone, just make me preach. Make me preach. Cherry beats, make me talk to them youths on the streets, yeah. Talk to them, why, yeah. Pass me the microphone, just make me preach. Make me preach. Cause when me come from you now get no ease. And some of them call me the ghetto priest. Cause me was born and grow and raised in the streets. So this Jesus you can know about heat. That's why I don't wanna go to hell. Why every youth want to walk with the fire. Me still live that life but now me retire. Since Jesus Christ take over. Take over. Welcome to the ghetto when them buy love says. Them walk around now with them fake bulletproof vests. The thing they Teflonless. So when a gunman strike, them are open up them chest. And it's just one more casket, one more candle, one more funeral. Hey, the body make it look normal. So normal? Yeah. One more casket, one more candle, one more funeral. Hey, the body make it look normal.
Hi, what's up, TNT? This is Wayne Johnson out of Brooklyn, New York. I always wanted to do something back home, and we're going to be doing our gospel segment on Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM. Listen what I want you to do. Spread the word. Spread the word, TNT. Salvation, full and free. Salvation is for everybody. Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q, Auto Parts Division.
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488?
Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I can buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arrowbita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 60 Tools.
All right. Thanks, boss. Nah, man. Granny, do you have $488 to lend me?
From the moment you first crossed eyes
It's a girl.
to their very first bowl of cereal, open wide. Going into parenthood means nourishing your little one to reach their fullest potential. With Nestum Nature's Selections infant cereals, give 30% more whole grain with 15 vitamins and minerals, including iron, all with no added sugar. Nature's Selection. Give your baby the best. Nestum, from 6 months onwards.
The Huddle Room reopens in partnership with Maracas Bake and Shock on Monday, October 18th. That's right, seaside flavor is in Central. Bake and Shock, aloo pies, kingfish, shrimp, and a daily menu of lunchtime favorites like stew chicken, macaroni pie, curry chicken, pilau, and so much more. Follow The Huddle Room and taste Maracas on social media. Bake and Shock is served from 10 a.m. and lunches from 11 a.m. We'll see you and your taste buds on Monday. The Huddle Room and Maracas Bake and Shock, the best of both worlds.
Tune in to The Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 91 Eastern Main Road in St. Augustine. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on The Street 919 FM.
What is Apex? It is the pinnacle of high-performance vision through a lens. It's clarity, no matter what angle you look at. It's comfort, no matter what you do all day, every day. And it's customized, with every digital measurement your eyes require to see at their very best. Apex Digital Lenses by Value Optical, the ultimate lens design for your eyes. Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
Ikaro, I am Alatumishe Ifabamishe Aganki, better known as MCD, and every Monday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I host a show called Orisha, The Way of Life, right here on the Sheet 919 FM, where I have guests passing through from the Orisha Ifa Baptist Diaspora to educate, edify, and inform you, the listening public, about Orisha Ifa practices. So remember to tune in every Monday between the hours of 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. for Orisha, The Way of Life.
Pastor Hannah A. Parbu of Holy Spirit Ministries will be live on The Street 919 FM every first and third Wednesday from 11:15 a.m. to 11:45 a.m. In the scripture, Matthew 19, verse 26, the Bible says, "But Jesus looked at them and said to them, with men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." Pastor Hannah is here to motivate you, challenge you, encourage you to walk in your purpose and destiny God has for you. For prayer and counseling, call Pastor Hannah at 728-5197.
He heals me when I'm broken. Strength where I've been weak. Forever he'll reign.
This is Bishop Aaron Williams from the Divine Problem Solving International Ministries, inviting you to be part of our broadcast on any given Thursday night from 12 midnight right on to 5 a.m. on Friday morning. And this broadcast is called Early Morning Gospel Market Program. Then we have on Tuesday from 12 noon to 1 p.m. the Holy Ghost Gospel Pharmacy. If you are sick and ailing, you can get from this particular pharmacy, from the pharmacist, the good things of life. Hallelujah. And any Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, break into the house of the Philistines. Hallelujah. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, hearing the babel of false doctrines that you encounter daily, it's about time you get close to God, God's word, direct from his throne room, in the name of Jesus.
God has good plans for his people. Why do you worry so much?
Tune in to the Street 919 FM for Gospel in the Bone Ministry every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message. Hosea chapter 4 says, "Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel, for the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood." Remember, every Sunday from 7:05 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. for the program God's Last Warning Message with Gospel in the Bones Ministry, right here on the Street 919 FM.
The journey's almost over.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
Well, a pleasant good morning to each and everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Titans of Democracy right here on the Street 919 FM. Let me thank the Heavenly Father for bringing me here safe, sound, and all together in one piece. A pleasant good morning going out to my entire family. Good morning to Ms. Sharon Felix, Mr. Dominic Romain, and the entire family. Good morning to you, all our callers, all our listeners, to all of our viewers online. For those of you that are always locked on via whatever mechanism that you are, know that it's always good to have you guys on the inside with us. Let me also say pleasant good morning going on to the management and staff of the Street 919 FM. Good morning to Mr. Iwer George and his entire family. Pleasant good morning to my friends and family in Tobago. I know you guys are locked on this morning. Pleasant good morning to you guys. And let me say good morning, Mr. Dominic, and how are you this morning?
Morning, sir. Morning. Yes. I am good.
All right, so what I'll do is, I got up a little late this morning now. So I'm going to get right into the papers, guys, okay? And then we'll have our discussions a little later on. So, headlines in the Express for today, Tuesday, the 26th of October, 2021. 15 fired. Crackdown on TTPS contract workers. Griffith, a witch hunt of petty vindictiveness. Delta spreads, bed space scarce, ICU on the brink. So let's get on the inside. 15 fired. Deputy Police Commissioner McDonald Jacob yesterday fired 15 contract employees with immediate effect, while several other contract positions are being revisited. ICU on the brink. Health officials have sounded an alarm that the COVID-19 intensive care units in Trinidad and Tobago are running out of room to treat critically ill infected patients. 53% turnout at schools. A total of 9,907 vaccinated and unvaccinated pupils attended physical school yesterday. ICU alarm. The supply of beds at the intensive care units in the hospitals under the parallel healthcare system in Trinidad and Tobago is on the brink of being outstripped by a... let me see what it's saying here. Yes, by an ever increasing demand. People. State of emergency, murder rate reaches 2020 figures. A 27-year-old father of two was shot dead as he returned to his Princestown home on Saturday night. Mystery over penal police hospital. It appears a police hospital has popped up at Clark Road Penal, and no one seems to know much about it, including the councillor for the area, Shanti Budram. Okay. Mom in tears as house burns to nothing. Fire engulfed the property of 29-year-old Nisha Bennett at St. Julian Road in New Grand on Saturday night, reducing her home of 9 years to ashes and debris. Taxi driver dragged as car stolen. Kes Soca Surprise sings for Trinidad-born scientists at Iwer Awards. Yes, and I saw that. That was nice. So those are the stories that are making way in the Express. Over to the Newsday. Princeton Corporation Chair concedes to protesting vendors. Is that Princess? Should that be Princestown? Abdul Richards, no beds left in ICUs. Education Minister on physical classes. Students are safe. Tretney Star KI in mourning. Mom dies. Condolences to you, my friend. Dr. Hines, school is not a safe zone. Driver threatens to sue over Beyond the Tape Most Wanted broadcast. Palmas fire survivor. It still feels like a dream. Privy Council dismisses challenge by attorney found guilty of forgery. Judge to rule on November 22nd on challenge to EBC's new Tobago seats. Weather over Trinidad and Tobago back to green level. Political scientist accuses UNC of handsy-pansy politics. Thieves strike Sealot's pump house. New Grand family's home burnt on eve of son's 6th birthday. Gonzalez accuses UNC of political extremism, playing victim. Hussain, UNC considering legal action against Speaker. Anything to just drag this thing, eh? Mayara MP, opposition will not allow dictatorship. But wait, her dictatorship? They will break it? No. Ferreira slams bad behavior of politicians. Port of Spain City Police arrest one, seize marijuana. 57-year-old Manzanilla man missing. Northeastern cops to ramp up exercises, patrols in Diwali Christmas anti-crime plan. And these are the stories that are making way in the Newsday. So over to The Guardian. Headlines in The Guardian, ICU full. And that would be the same story concerning the two, right? Smooth restart, but concerned parents, threatens to sue ministry over child's safety. As both vaccinated and unvaccinated students in Forms 4 to 6 restarted in-person classes yesterday, one parent has threatened to sue the Ministry of Education over the safety of her child. Kamala attacks independent senators. NPTA told vaccinated students bully unvaccinated as schools resume. Report finds human influence role in small island climate warming. Okay. UN report, urgent need to bring to an end coal, oil and gas production. Cops fear cover-up after reported indecent assault of WPC not probed. Gatsby Dolly, no obligation to provide online classes where schools are open. Public officials blame Integrity Commission's poor service for declaration delays. 40 people hired by Griffith fired on the spot from TTPS. Severe flooding in Pinal leaves hundreds affected. Minimart owner fatally shoots 2 bandits. 3 shot in Carapo. Princestown market vendors call on corporation to delay repair to facility. Okay. Young, TNT committed to 15% reduce emissions by 2030. 4 men, 1 woman died from COVID. Heinz don't compare safe zones to schools. Hotline to combat vaccine hesitancy set up. Privy Council dismisses lawyers' disciplinary appeal. So those are the stories that are currently making way in The Guardian, The Express, and The Newsday at this time. So I will hand it over to Mr. Dominic Romain, who will take us through the program this morning. Dominic?
Yes, sir.
As we say in basketball, the ball is in your court.
Send you this video. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So morning all. Just raise it. I think you had to raise your volume a little bit. So you're singing a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Better there?
Plenty better.
Nice.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Right. So good morning again to all of you listeners of the Street 919 FM, and morning to Mr. and Mrs. Regis, Mr. and Mrs. Giuseppe, Mother Tuna Puna. So she had a nice breakfast yesterday, and some people treated her to nice lunches on Sunday. She said she had food for the week. So good food too. So morning, Mother. Mano, morning, Angie. We saw pistol Angie morning, eh? Right, otherwise, you know you go carry over the
Angie warning me right now. Morning, Angie, darling.
Yeah. So let me see here. Right. So that one of those stories that you touched on there, Bruce, with respect to the ICU situation.
Yeah.
Where based on what was announced yesterday in the COVID press briefing, is that the ICU is more or less at capacity. So I guess we're starting to see the field effects of Delta. As Dr. Parasram had said earlier, I think about 2 weeks ago, when he was asked a question by one of the reporters with respect to why aren't we seeing more numbers, given that COVID is here, and he said, well, we were in the early stages. So, and Dr. Heinz would have announced yesterday that they monitoring and expecting a spike. So just when we thought we were out of the woods, we're back in again. Yeah, so certainly not good news. But it's not just Trinidad, because I saw where Barbados now has the second highest active case count in the Caribbean after Jamaica. Yeah, Jamaica's on about 29,000, and Barbados is at 5,200.
Wow.
Yeah. So all the praises that the Prime Minister of Barbados was getting all the time, and people wanted her to be the Prime Minister of Trinidad because she this and she that, and probably don't know what he's doing. All kind of bacana. What is she to do now? Right? Because she was saying that, the vaccination thing, we will go from house to house and we'll have conversations with the people and try to use moral suasion to convince them to get vaccinated. Well, I guess that didn't work. I think yesterday they had 9 deaths, which is probably the highest they've had in a single day, and 200 and something new cases. And I think, Jamaica again continues to record high deaths, notwithstanding the fact that they've had their stay-in-place lockdowns where for 3-4 days you're required to stay home. And still, what you do? We know that in Trinidad here, they're just counting down the days to the end of the SOE, because they're planning a big protest in the Queen's Park Savannah, I think on the 25th or the 26th of November. Well, thank goodness I wouldn't be here. So, Anyway,
that's one way I learn, you know.
Yeah. So they're ridiculous, Bruce. Really, seriously. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, if I, as one of the doctors, I think yesterday said, it would come down to a situation where the doctors will have to decide who to treat and who is not. It will make sense. And this is an approach that has been taken in a number of other countries, where I think in Antigua and Barbuda, the Prime Minister has announced that come 2022, all restrictions would be lifted, and anybody who is not vaccinated, you're on your own.
Wow.
So we give you enough time and opportunity to get vaccinated, and you didn't. So if you die, well, we did the best that we could. Don't blame us. So, yeah. So I saw yesterday, Bruce, there was a protest in Princestown market vendors. Apparently, the UNC-controlled Princestown Corporation wants to do some renovation work on the market. And so all of the vendors would have to be displaced for a period of time. They said about a month, but of course people not buying that, because, in Trinidad it always have cost overruns and delays.
Mm-hmm.
So the vendors are saying, look, Diwali is around the corner. Why come and do this now? Why can't you all wait? And then there's Christmas.
Yeah.
So that is our peak sales time. So all you're messing up. I found amazing, Bruce. I'm looking at this, about 2 or 3 videos of this little protest in Princestown, and I'm reading the comments. And UNC people always get upset when we call them duds. Imagine the UNC, the Princestown Corporation is UNC controlled. Princestown is a UNC constituency under Barry Padder. These clowns still coming out this pay, blame the government and blame the PNM.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, and Rowley wicked and Rowley only suffering poor people. What Rowley had to do with that? That is UNC. They don't understand how local government works. Where was the member of parliament for Princestown? He should have been there. And we're having an October revolution, and you're for the people, and you're for the poor people and the suffering people. Why didn't you intervene as a member of parliament?
Dominic,
and tell them, hey, no.
But Dominic, you say it there, You realize say it?
Yeah.
They don't know how local government works. And where you feel the council and the MP doesn't know that the constituents don't know how local government works. Mm-hmm. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Because they understand their followers. They understand the base. So when we decide that around peak time we're going and fix the surroundings, we're going and fix that area, you feel they don't know that the people are going to raise a ruckus and talk about how old is the government, and then they will get the following that they need for the October Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, simple enough.
But when it was even worse, Bruce, several people would have come on the live and saying, correcting these people who put in this nonsense about the Rowley Wicked and this PNM government, and tell them this is a UNC corporation. This was a decision taken by the corporation. It has nothing to do with the Prime Minister. It has nothing to do with central government. These clowns will still find a way to argue, to say, yeah, but who in charge? Who in charge of the government? Really? When we the municipal corporations are, oh gosh, really? Or you so want to blame this government for everything, that when your party that you support doing nonsense, your party that you support that doing things that you always blaming this government for, they engaging in actions that could be perceived as oppressing poor people. Nah, man, let me find a way to blame Rowley for this. Yeah. We can't believe that this UNC that always for the people would do such a thing. And then 3 of the councillors came out and defended the action and said, but we talked to them vendors before we tell them what was going to happen. So they said, well, the reporters asked them, so where are the vendors? Where are you putting the vendors? He said, well, they'll be outside right here on the street in front of the market. Then the question was asked, well, would it be sheltered? Would you be providing tents? Man said, well, no, the weather and so on is a normal part of the thing. And the vendors will have to make adjustments accordingly because it's a temporary situation. So,
In other words, get your own damn tent.
Yeah. See, because you know, normally on a weekend you would have people outside here who are vending, notwithstanding the weather and so on. So a little bit of inconvenience. And the UNC's constantly saying that. Right. They will find excuses. Anyway, I'm not surprised. Waterfront Hill, all over. Yeah. It's like a disease, boy. Good grief. So, last night, Bruce, was the Monday night forum. And the leader of the obstruction was in fighting form. You know, it's like, what's that saying, Bruce? A bull in a china shop. You know, it's like she run in, she get a big piece of wood, and she run in to the Senate, and she just started share blows on the opposition, on the independent bench. So she just flinging one, whoever get lash. Yeah. So this was Mrs. Prasad Bisesa last night, right? So she and her cronies in the parliament are upset because they've been chastised by two independent senators, Senator Vieira and Paul Richards, for their behavior in the parliament last week, Thursday. And further to that, their attack on the independent senators during the vote, where when the senators voted no to the motion, anybody who looked at the video and who wants to go back and look at it will see that the UNC senators and UNC members of parliament were shouting down the independent senators, bawling, PNM, shame. Every time they call us an independent senator name for the vote, no, shame, PNM. Right? You call all the people, so you find that the only reason why they're not supporting your motion is because they're PNM. Right? So you, first of all, Kamala Prasad Bisesa called for a secret ballot vote. Right? So she talked about the members being able to vote conscience. Now, as I said on Sunday, she couldn't have been talking about UNC members because they have no conscience. So she was probably hoping the hidden secret ballot that the independent senators, which was the only cohort that she could depend on, because you know it wasn't getting no support from the government. Know that, right? But even if they had gotten the support of all 9 independent senators, it still wouldn't have been sufficient for them for the motion to progress. But you're asking for a secret ballot vote because you figure, well, the independent senators are appointed by the president and they probably feel beholden to her. If it is, so they don't want to vote yes audibly, and then next thing the president fires them. So let them vote in secret. So who want to advance the process, let them go ahead and do it. And they don't have to worry about the president firing them, right? So, opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa has roasted independent senators for their criticism of the UNC's behavior in last Tuesday's parliament sitting on its motion to remove Paula May Weeks. Speaking at last night's UNC forum, Prasad Bisesa said the tradition was not to criticize independent senators, but added that those days are over. Yeah. This is after Wade Mark threatened them, basically, and tell them the gloves are off, right? Mm-hmm. You stepped out of your crease to do battle for the PNM and the political guile. So check yourself. We are on your case and we shall expose who you are. This is the leader of the obstruction.
Wow.
Prasad Bisesa said the legal action the UNC intends to take will be against the unilateral illegal guidelines used by the House Speaker Bridget Anizet George on the process for the motion. She added, all of the government's MPs and senators, together with all the so-called independent senators, voted to keep secret whether PM Rowley and President Weeks acted in concert to interfere in the PSC's merit list for the post of commissioner. They didn't want the president to be investigated. They voted to treat her like a queen who cannot be questioned. The Constitution allows that because the president can't be taken to court. But anyway, and she's a senior counselor. They voted to keep you in the dark as to why, for the first time in our history, TNT doesn't have a commissioner of police or an acting commissioner or an independent police service commission which can appoint a commission. Probably, Mrs. Prasad Bisesa, because you wrote to the president telling her to pause the process. Probably because a list of names was sent to you, as the Constitution requires, for consultation, and you choose not to respond. You choose to respond in the media. You choose to respond on social media, but you're not responding any way that you're required to, which is to respond to private correspondence between the president and yourself. Somehow, these letters from president's office seem to find their way in public space. Not the one sent to Dr. Rowley, the one sent to Kamala. And kick out the PNM Facebook page, it on the UNC Facebook page, all over the place, right? Except, right. She added, one of the most disgraceful things about the vote was watching how the so-called independent senators capitulated to the PNM's will, as opposed to standing up for the people. These senators are handpicked by the president, so how can they be expected to vote to investigate her? So you didn't know they were handpicked by the president before Mrs. Pasapi says. So this is a recent development. It's only in the last 6 years that this is how independent senators are chosen, Mrs. Pasapi says. So that's not how they've been chosen since eons, since we've been non-independent. Oh, okay. Somebody just, it seems, Bruce, came out of their punching-induced coma. We continue. She said there was no secret ballot because this PNM government wanted to put as much pressure on the independent senators as possible. These so-called independent senators, do they find it disgraceful that because of Rowley, for the first time in history, we have no commissioner of police, no acting commissioner of police, and only one DCP? That the country doesn't know if the Prime Minister illegally influenced the Commission or the President in his vendetta against Gary Griffith, or whether the President and the Police Service Commission acted against the law in keeping the merit list away from Parliament. She asserted this notion of independent senators has over the last 50 years bred the nasty idea that a portion of the population is somehow superior and they look down on others, calling them tribal, base, disrespectful, and disgraceful. It's an attractive concept for some who will always mimic their views in order to be seen as part of the elite class. And they call them the parasitic oligarchy. Well, yes. We have in essence invented our own aristocracy, where these little barons and baronesses are handpicked, and they now want to lord it over the rest of us. Relative unknowns are elevated and given the right to pontificate on the Wali Nagar and to tell us what is respectable and who is disgraceful, because they are somehow above the ordinary citizens. But they never say anything when the Prime Minister goes on platforms and cusses those who oppose him. Some of their mistakes some of their masks rather have slipped through. One of them was as silent as alarm in the parliamentary chamber last Thursday, and he has now come out in the media to attack the opposition and an opposition senator. He's entered the political guile, but you can't play mass and freight powder. Wow, boy. Like they put a shot of gun oil in that Grey Goose. They need to listen, all you all need to give this woman water and water alone before she speaks in these things. Either that or Saddam, you see these kind of things that you're writing here for your leader? Behave yourself. She goes on. She added an obvious reference to comments made about the UNC's behavior during the motion by independent Anthony Vera. With all these independent senators, or rather when all these independent senators could jump out of themselves to criticize the opposition for demanding the right to represent the views of the population, but will never comment on serious allegations of political interference by the Prime Minister, appointment of a commissioner. Ask yourself, who are they really representing? None shall escape. Blows pelting from our side. Boss head. Yeah, Bruce, you have Marshall and Bungie. Boss head there. Yeah. Come out of boss head, boy. You know, I can't believe that. And then these people want to talk about Dr. Rowley is a dictator and that Trinidad and Tobago is a galloping dictatorship. This is a case of look in the mirror. The senators had the right to vote any way that they want to, just as was the situation with the members of government and the members of the opposition. And they exercised their franchise. And now because they didn't support you all and vote the way you want them to, you want to beat up on the people? That is not a dictatorship. But they want to call Dr. Rowley a dictator? And so because the independent senators didn't support you, they jump out themselves? Really, Gamla? Seriously?
This seriously breaking down, you know, is like a mental breakdown. You know?
That is what it is.
You know, it's like it's you want to support me, eh? You ain't supporting me, eh? No, you go see. You know,
yeah.
And you like, what the hell going on with you?
Yeah.
Take a chill pill, slow it down. Bring a glass of water,
Yeah.
2 black eyes. I don't
chase her. You just get it straight.
Yeah.
They want to hold on to this thing like, you know, like it's a juicy piece of meat. Then somebody needs to let the United National Congress know Trinidad and Tobago is a 9-day wonder, okay? This thing has surpassed the 9 days, all right? Time to move on. To quote Kamala when she was Prime Minister, let us move on. We are wary of this issue. Next. Okay, you all may want to hold on to it because you figure you could gain some political mileage from it, but as based on this and what we've seen in the last week, well, they're just digging a deeper grave. The population fed up all here. Well, except the members of the literati. They will never be fed up. Because she could lose another 2, 3, 4 elections and they will still keep her. Very good. We commend you all for that. That's the only common sense thing that you all have ever done. Keep her right there. Don't move her.
You know what is shameful, Dominic? One of my boys asked me, Dad, they know the Constitution like how the government know the Constitution? Is it a different Constitution for the opposition than it is for the government? Because if it is, this is what it states here. Clearly, they're wasting people time.
Yeah.
I say, well, boy, I'm glad you could see that. Because believe you me, there are a lot of people, them ain't seeing that. And they know that. They know what they're doing. So that is why they could move the way in which they're moving.
But I hope when they take legal action against the speaker, right, and they lose, they don't end up like the election petition where they owe the PNM money. Pay all their debts.
Hey, let me talk about that.
Okay? Pay all their debts.
Bring the money.
Yeah. I mean, normally in a case like this, Bruce, the PNM might have been able to levy on the headquarters of the UNC. Oops! They have no headquarters. After 33 years, they're homeless. Maybe that's why they remain homeless. Because they wanna have nothing for people to levy on all who they owe. Yeah. Pay all their debts.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Yeah. Really? In the words of Max House, we need the money. We had our outfit in New Bally's house. Come now, UNC. Talk it up all our money, all your teeth and all that was in office. You know, all the money. Well, we ain't taking no all $100 bills, right? don't come at that.
No
right?
souvenirs.
Keep that. Yeah, you don't want that. That is of no value anymore. Keep that. All that all your teeth and have, Perry, wherever, all who had saved in the house and in the floor, keep that. Okay? We want the polymer notes. We're not playing that, so don't come at that foolishness. Right? Pay. Shucks. All your nonsense.
We have about a minute before we go to the break. Oh gosh. I don't know, boy.
All the finances they have, tell them cough up something now. Oh gosh, boy. Besides, I don't know what to say with these people, you know. They're sickening to the hilt. As I said before, we need tell Gary do something now. Start a new party. We need an opposition. We don't have an opposition in this country. Right? I see Gary like you under some fire. Is like every day something else with you.
Our opposition is a joke, yes. But guys, we're going to the break and we'll be right back. So keep it locked. Street 919 FM. This is your Titans of Democracy. Remember, we live on Facebook at the Street 919 FM's Facebook page. Also on YouTube at Iwer TV live broadcast on the Street 919 FM. So keep it locked. We'll be right back.
If you love that Savannah grass, put your hands in the air for me. If you know it.
Sign up and save with Green Dot. When you subscribe to any of our broadband packages, you get 30% off the installation fee, allowing you to stream your favorite shows on any of your devices. Update your social media accounts and connect with friends and family. Stay on top of the class with online learning sessions. Or keep your team in the loop with virtual meetings. All at an affordable price. This is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 224-GDOT today to sign up and save with Green Dot, improving and simplifying lives.
Life takes us along so many roads. Some are planned, others can take unexpected turns that may cause us to worry. A home equity loan from TTMF can give you the means to navigate these turns that require major financing. With up to 30 years to repay, you can use the value in your home to consolidate debt, finance medical expenses, for tertiary education, home renovation, and other major expenses. Call or visit our website at ttmf-mortgages.com to find out more about our home equity loan. Let us help you steer those financially challenging journeys. TTMF, from here to home.
It's here again.
Al Edwin Wedding and Events presents the Al Edwin Caribbean Wedding and Event Exposition 2021.
The virtual experience, October 30th to October 31st, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m.
at the Al Edwin's Virtual Ballroom.
aledwin.co. Register now.
To qualify for giveaways, coupons, and vacation packages.
Tickets are $60. Available
at all Zena's jewelry locations. King Lounge, Barber Spa, Omero Plaza, Omero Road Arena.
Al Edwin Wedding and Events, located at Center of Excellence.
The excitement, exhibitors, fashion shows, and giveaways are too great to miss.
That drink you introduced me to, the U-Juice Turmeric Ginger Lime. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. First thing I realized is that the sugar content was very low, which is good for me at my age. But I think the experience I had with that juice is having drunk it. You know, I could literally feel my brain very light. I could feel a sense of oxygen overtook my body. I felt light. You know, I could have this all day long.
Try U-Juice today. Available at leading supermarkets nationwide or order online at ujuiceroots.com for free delivery.
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco, Sangre Grande, is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guest. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Friday night, Sunday Ministry of Worship, Children Hour and the Word from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. and Friday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer for our nation. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated at Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
Hi, this is Nicole Huggins. Join me every Monday morning on the Street 919 FM from 9:05 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. Let's talk about lifestyle diseases that affects you today and how we can improve your health with healthy solutions. Call Health and Well Lifestyle with Nicole Huggins at 1-868-288-1108 or 1-868-275-8359. See you there.
Len Capital Certificates is a business consultant company that provides a passive income service. Through our partnership perquisites, we allow customers the possibility to earn interest monthly or yearly by purchasing one of our precious gem packages. These precious gem packages are exclusively available only at Len Capital. These precious gem packages are Opal, Emerald, Ruby, Sapphire, and Diamond. So, call us today at 376-LEN or 376-5366 for more information. And remember, at Len Capital, it's all about you.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live.
So welcome back on the inside. If you're just joining us, you're locked on to the street, 919 FM. This is your Titans of Democracy. Dominic, I will be right back. I'm going to open up downstairs and come back.
Alrighty. Right. So, on to other things. You know, we've spoken enough, I think, about the waste of time, obstruction. Yeah, so let's move on to another waste of time. So we would have seen a couple of days ago, an article came out with respect to an audit that was conducted into the PSA's finances, and which audit shows or showed that there has been serious irregularities with respect to the state of affairs at the PSA. So much so, yesterday, I think the former Minister of Labour and former PSA President would have spoken to, I think it was on TTT, and she was also on this morning show yesterday, having been interviewed by Sharon. And some of the glaring matters or glaring issues raised in this audit, if I could just rehash, I'm not going to read the whole thing because I know this matter was touched on yesterday. It says an audit of the Public Service Association finances ordered by the High Court in January 2020 has reported overspending that exceeded its income by 6.3 million in the last 4 years. Questionable procurement practices as well as a pension plan in limbo. It also flagged an unusually high frequency of reimbursements to PSA President Watson Duke. Unusually high frequency of reimbursements to PSA President Watson Duke. The audit of the years 2014 and 2015 was done by Chartered Accountants E. Augustus Alexander and Company. And the report's leak comes less than 6 weeks before Tobagonians return to the polls for the THA elections, carded for December 6th, where Duke, as political leader of the PDP, is leading his party against the PNM for control of the assembly. The PNM, right, we know that. Responding to the audit report's finding, Duke distanced himself. He said the PSA is a sovereign organization that exists within the framework of its constitution, and this matter and all financial matters falls within the ambit of the PSA General Counsel and no one else. I want to ask the question, what role has the PSA's General Counsel played in expenditure in the PSA in the last 9 years? In fact, I think based on what I've been reading, social media within recent times, the only time the General Counsel of the PSA was anxious to meet in full was recently when they had to hold a kangaroo court to charge some members of the PSA who have been speaking out against Mr. Duke. Understand, all of them were able to make time to come out to that kangaroo court, but to deal with other matters, they are unavailable, right? Now, this is not the first we're hearing about unlawful spending within the PSA. In fact, in January of 2020, almost 2 years ago, an article came out in the Newsday titled Unlawful PSA Spending. And it reads, the Public Service Association's executive has been ordered to immediately follow proper procedure for approval of expenditure of money, as a High Court judge held there was sufficient evidence of unlawful expenditure at the union. Devendra Rampersad made the order as he articulated his findings in a written decision in which he ordered the PSA executive led by President Watson Duke to hold timely audits of the finances. Rampersad on January 10th granted several orders to a group of PSA members who have referred to themselves as the concerned public officers. The concerned public officers filed a claim in January complaining that proper procedure was not being followed by the PSA executive for approval of expenditure and conduct of union affairs. In his ruling, which was reduced in writing and provided on Wednesday, Justice Rampersad said the court is satisfied there is sufficient evidence, right? Somebody needs to send this article to Mrs. Prasad Bissessa so she could understand. There's a difference between evidence and conjecture, evidence and supposition, evidence and allegations, okay? Right? Miss Senior Counsel, self-given. We continue. He added, the court is satisfied that there is sufficient evidence in relation to the unlawful expenditure. He added the court was also satisfied of failure by the executive to hold section elections and provide proper audited accounts. In ordering that proper procedures be followed for approval of expenditure, the judge said it means that the Public Services Association has to have the proper annual general conference. He also said holding off of section elections the holding of all section elections must take place by February 14th and proper timely audits of the union's accounts conducted within a reasonable period of time becoming due on completion of the previous year's audit with a view to determining the state of the finances, which will assist in determining the actual number of financial members. Duke's executive also has to, before the end of January, provide an updated report on the status of the 2015 audit and the timelines for submitting any outstanding requests made by the auditor in order to complete it. Additionally, the judge ordered that accurate membership lists for each year be compiled within 30 days of the respective audits once the number of financial members of the PSA is ascertained. So we see here the judge makes a number of references to audits. Right. So back then, you all may recall there was a little spat between Watson Duke and Jennifer Baptiste Primus, who was then Minister of Labour. And Mrs. Baptiste Primus had pointed out that several letters had been sent over the years to the PSA indicating to them that the ministry's auditors are ready to come and check on the PSA's books. And Mr. Duke denied that. He said, that's a lie. We got no correspondence. Prove it. Prove it. Provide the correspondence. And Mrs. Baptiste Primus did just that. And rather than address that fact, what did Mr. Duke do? Try to deflect by talking about the way Mrs. Baptiste Primus looks and her face long like mango sauce and the way she speaks, all kind of bacchanal, except addressing the fact that you claim no correspondence was sent to the PSA and proof was provided as you requested of such correspondence. I go on. The judge pointed out in his decision that the claim of the concerned public officers had proceeded as undefended. However, Duke described it as a consent order. He also said the PSA had been ready and willing to audit its accounts since 2014, and all the spending at the union was above board. And he placed the Labour Ministry for failing to send an audit or an auditor. In an immediate response, Labour Minister Jennifer Baptiste Primus on January 14 rejected Duke's claims, describing the PSA's president's statements as preposterous, self-serving, and downright dishonest. She also said auditors were appointed to review the PSA's financial statements of 2015, 2016, 17, 18, 19, and March 19, 2016, February 10, 2017, January 29, 2018, and January 14, 2019, respectively. Contrary to your allegations, they show that the last audited statement submitted by the PSA was for the year 2014. This is in January of 2020. 6 years, no audit. All right? 6 years, no audited financials. What I find interesting about this, right, is Kamala Prasad Bissessar could go and do research, dig up to tell you that Faris didn't declare the sale of his Porsche in 2016, 2017, 18, 19, 20, and it was only 2021 that he made such a declaration, which has subsequently shown to be a lie, for which he has not apologized, but they know everybody else is liars except themselves, right? Because we saw in the parliament last week, Thursday, Mr. Saddam Hussein, again, liar well, I can't even say liar in training, because there's sometimes when you listen to Saddam, he's better than some of the veteran liars that have in that party. That this man will get up in the parliament and make a claim that while the government, members of the government were voting on the motion, their microphones were on, and that only when it came to the opposition side, their microphones were off. But everybody, it was there for all to see. In fact, you could go back and replay it. Thank goodness for the Parliament channel on YouTube. And you could see how much of a liar this individual is. That is the future of the UNC. Yeah, he wants to show Kamala that he can lie better than the rest of them. So choose me. Yes. And so now she had to try, she's straddling now to try and see if she could keep up with him. He was a novice, now he run past her. Right? Something wrong with him, you know. But anyway, Duke has alleged that PNM mischief makers within the PSA are trying to disrupt the organization in an attempt to undermine him ahead of the 2020 general elections. Appearing for the concerned public officers were Timothy Afonso and Manisha Lachman, while Duke and his executive were represented by attorneys Ravi Rajkumar, John Heath, and Lionel Laku. So, the judge, High Court judge, I'm saying this for persons in Tobago who seem to be of the view that this is PNM machinations, PNM trickery. That the PNM just doing this because they're afraid of the PDP and they figure the PDP won win the election and chalala, and they're trying to dirty Duke waters, right? The judge read the evidence. The judge, we said that evidence, not allegations, not conjecture. Evidence pointed to illegal spending at the PSC. Right? So I guess the judge is PNM too. Yeah? So apparently now when you go to Akwadiara, my lord, can I see your party card? Are you PNM? If you are, I must ask you to recuse yourself because I am not PNM. Right. So that's a qualification now. Okay? So Justice Rampersad is PNM. The silliness, some of the, Bruce, I don't want to say it, I don't want to say it, but it feels like waterfront elk syndrome has now spread in Tobago. Because I am reading some of the comments of people who live in Tobago trying to defend this foolishness, right? Oh, is the PNM doing that? Duke is a good boy. They ain't like the boy. Okay. You know what it's about, Bolife? Bruce, play my clip there for my daughter Sanjay, please.
Watson Duke is breaking the law, and had he been in another country, maybe. Watson Duke is breaking the law, and had he been in another country, maybe in jail.
PSA leader Watson Duke is being branded a dictator by employees of the Public Services Association.
This from Big Woo leader Vincent Cabrera, who is calling on the PSA leader to do the right thing and register the pension account of the PSA employees.
The implications are that the law is being broken.
Mr. Duke has been in office since 2009, and we have not seen a change at all to his Idi Amin dictatorship. Right? Nothing has changed. He's getting worse.
Their pension plan is not registered with the central bank. What? Not registered with the central bank.
They claim the pension plan is underfunded to the tune of over $2 million.
I'm not looking for friends. I'm looking for money. For in another country, he would have been making a jail by now.
Well, in an odd turn of events, no actuarial review has been done for a number of years. The request from the union to discuss the pension matter has been denied by Mr. Duke.
And many people have asked me, Sally, why you dare sit down with this guy by your side? Why you ain't leave?
This is a union man, president of a union. You fighting all over the place to secure other people's pension. Workers employed in other areas to secure their pension. But the organization that you lead, the pension planning problems. How? Make it make sense, man. Really? Bruce, I saw there's a trend taking place on Facebook now. The red flag trend. I was supposed to ask you about that. What the hell that was. I just see people, instead of red flag, red flag, red flag. Well, I get to understand now. So it's people highlighting different situations that they consider to be red flags, right?
Red flags, yeah.
Yes. This is a red flag movement. This audit, right? Have red flags all over it. I mean, I'm talking about the PNM red flag. You know, the video where Duke say, you see all of them people who had a big PNM red flag in the yard? No justice for you. After the election, no justice for you all here. Nothing for all here. Just remember that, huh? All who vex with PNM and say, well, me ain't going and vote. I vex because they picked the candidate that I want. Just remember what Watson said. I'll find the video and we'll play it. No justice for all you. So if you know you have a big red flag in your yard, you better take it down. And you're planning not to vote, right? Because you will be victimized. And the man put no water in his mouth to let you all know that. So you were warned. Red flag, right? Okay. Not a green flag, red flag. Now, Bruce, expenditure exceeding income by some 6.3 million in the last 4 years or so. But the pension plan, as we just said, there is just in deficit by 2 million. But 6.3 million deficit. And I heard a caller calling yesterday morning to ask the question, well, what's the difference between what's going on at the PSA and the government? Well, the fact of the matter is that the government is charged with the responsibility to provide, in the first instance, goods and services for 1.4 million people. Also charged with responsibility to provide wages and salaries for hundreds of thousands of people. They also charged to provide transfers and subsidies, if you know what that means. You know, stuff like pension, disability grant, public assistance, you know, all of these different things, you know, the subsidies. Every time you jump on a plane to go to Tobago, the government had to subsidize, pay a little thing for the plane ticket so that you won't have to pay the full fee. When you jump on the ferry and you're only paying $50 to go to Tobago and $50 to come back, and the government picking up the slack for the difference. All of these things is why the government is in deficit still. That's why. Would you prefer for the government to operate strictly as a business? If that were the case, then you would have a lot more vagrants in this country. You understand? So that is what is to be expected. Where there is a shortfall of revenue, and because of the variety of things that the government is required to spend money on, in fact, almost 85 to 90% of the government's budget actually goes in wages and salaries, transfers and subsidies, with not much left over for infrastructure spending, which is why the government is having a challenge finding the money to pave the roads. And I just want to tell people who figure that because we have a pitch lake, we're supposed to have the best roads in the country, that pitch alone is not what you need to pave a road, right? Apparently some people don't get that. Not you don't just take a pitch, come and pave the road and drop it there, right? That making sense to you all? Try it and see, huh? Some of the worst roads in the country is down in Labrie. But anyway, there's a point for another time. When Mr. Duke came in, Bruce, red flag from day one, right? The man has very expensive taste. So the first thing he purchased was a BMW 5 Series, a $500,000 plus vehicle, right? PCP 89, I think it was, or PCP 85. Subsequent to that, Mr. Duke then went on to purchase a Mercedes E250, another $500,000 plus vehicle. That's just basic price, eh? After you add all the frills and the accoutrements and so on, yeah, it could come up to close to $1 million or more. Now we know the other day, Bruce, the Mercedes PDL, I think 41 or 49 or something. I don't want to know that, eh, Bruce? Let me just deviate a little bit. A day I'm driving around the savannah. I know just when you take the bend by Memorial Park there from Queen's Park East to head down by Napa side, down there, heading west. I see this black Mercedes with all windows down, music blasting, and the driver hand on the steering and you rock back so. I say, well, nah, I ain't his vehicle. Because the people who usually drive these vehicles would normally have their windows up because, you know, anytime the windows down is because somebody trying to climb, they want everybody to see. So he was a little way ahead of me, so I said, well, let me speed up, I want to see who is this. As I approach the vehicle, I look in and I say, well, if it isn't the Duke of Abercrombie, my boy in his shades and so on, his designer shades, and he had the seat pushed back and he rocked back, so I'm the same man. Yes, I reach. Right?
Never see come see.
That's right. Now, PSA money pay for that, eh? Membership dues pay for that. PSA, public servants still working on 2013 salaries. Mr. Duke's salary is not 2013, I could tell you that, right? So the Mercedes, as we saw the other day, got into an accident. Because the first thing the Duke of Abercrombie sought to do, after he almost, according to the newspaper, lose his life, was to do a live, right? Hey, look again, accident, or let's see what's going on here, thing. Right, I want the world to know. You want to study to check life on limb, you want to do a live, all right? Prima donna. And I asked the question, Bruce, I wonder, because you know they're saying old, let's bring new. I wonder what vehicle will replace the Mercedes.
Cayenne.
Well, based on a live that I saw Mr. Duke there a couple of weeks ago, because he's all over Tobago now, he's on his beach jaunt, going from beach to beach, talking about, let me fix this. Mr. Duke, I saw a Range Rover. Yes. You know, as I said, you're not going to downgrade. You can't go from a BMW, a Mercedes, to a wet man. You're mad? How could Watson Duke be seen in a wet man? Watson Duke, if maybe he had a travel not going in a taxi in a wet man. Right? He looking for Safero, a Tiana. He's not going to draw wet man. That is beneath him. Bruce, no.
I would have said something about I bring the radio into disrepute.
So, I don't know, but I saw in the video a Range Rover. Now, given the length of time since the accident happened and the time when he did that video, I get the impression that he may be leasing the Range Rover, right? What is the cost of that lease? Mr. Duke couldn't find anything cheaper? And is it that this vehicle is just being leased until the Mercedes fix and he intends to continue to drive the Mercedes, or is it that the Mercedes time has come to an end and there is need to replace it with something else? I just ask you, I just ask you.
Who paying for that
something
lease?
For PSA?
Oh, okay.
President can walk?
So he sell the BM then?
I think so. Well, I haven't seen it in a while. So I don't know if maybe somebody who working at PSA could let us know if it is still on the compound of the PSA. But apparently, that is PCP. We're not dealing with PC no more. Right now we're in PE. We have to deal with that. Right? So, PSA money, again, pay for that. Remember then we would have seen some odd documents came out of one of the audits sometime earlier on this year or last year, showing where Mr. Duke would have been traveling and so on, and the amount of the per diem, and he carried about 3 or 4 people with him, and what their per diem was, and all this kind of thing, US dollars, spending. Again, I make the point, public servants are still on 2013 salaries. The man charged with the responsibility for fixing that is Watson Duke. That's why he was elected. So you have not been able to secure a pay increase for your membership 8 years, but yet still these people continue to pay you $100 a month, right? So that you could secure their interest. But you living high off of the hog off of their money. And meanwhile, while you driving in Range Rover, BMW, Mercedes, when rain was falling yesterday morning, your members and them stand up on the bus route with umbrella, flagging down Maxi. Okay. They don't want to drive a nice car too. They don't want to get a back pay. Very bullhorn. I mean, based on documents that again is in the public domain, if the second vice president, of the PSC, earning a salary of approximately $30,000 a month, how much is the president making?
Wow.
I bet if you went to any government office for which the PSA is the representative union and you ask anybody in there, who is the first vice president of the PSA, they can't tell you. Who is the second vice president of the PSA, they can't tell you. You know why? Because you don't see these people. The only face you're seeing is Watson. So what the second vice president doing each day to earn 30 grand a month? That you don't know who he is, you never see his face, except for when they had the election and Watson Duke put up a picture with his slate, his hand-picked slate. Really? Oh, no wonder. Expenditure in excess of $6 million. And I wonder who they leased that Range Rover from by. Anyway.
That is also another good question.
I wonder by.
It's a very, very good question.
I don't know why the name Money-Lal keep coming in my mind. Money-Lal. Anyway. I don't know, these things that just happen to me, Bruce. These words just jump in my head. Money-Lal.
I feel like drinking too much water in the morning,
Probably, probably.
I feel like I sprinkle 2 drip of goose or something in it.
Now, Bruce, I've made the point before, right? With respect to the PDP, I see they signed what they call a social contract, right? All the members, all the candidates for the election signed a social contract, which basically says that if the party wins the election and these individuals are made secretaries in the THA, that if you get caught in a wrong stand-up, that you would be required to step down. Now, I don't see why you need to sign a social contract to that. If, as a secretary, you engage in malfeasance in public office, you're not only supposed to step down, you're supposed to make a jail. So I don't see why we need to write up a contract for people to sign. Now, who is that for? The benefit of whom? Is it that this contract is an admission that you don't have confidence in the integrity of your candidates? That you believe that they may have the propensity to engage in wrongdoings should the party win and they become secretaries? So you take it in front because you expect that to happen? Well, let me tell you why that makes no sense, and that's just grandstanding and pappy showbiz. That is not, as far as I know, that document has no standing in legal statute, so it cannot be enforced by law. So if somebody is a secretary and they do something wrong, they come and say, hey, well, you signed this, so you had to resign. Who? Make me resign now? What are you going to do? Call the police and tell them I signed this, and they'll come and what? Make me step down? They'll take me to court and tell the court, well, look, I signed this contract, so I have to step down? Why are you doing that? To embarrass the party?
Funny you should say that. When you get a chance, Dominic, just interjecting here. When you get a chance, I just send something to your phone because it's funny you should say that. So when you get a chance, just you don't have to read it out, because it may not be radio friendly. After you read it, you'll tell me. But yeah, that was sent to me from one of our loving listeners in Tobago.
All right. But also, Bruce, here's the thing, right? I made the point before. The PDP has no structure.
True.
The executive of the PDP comprises political leader Watson Duke, 2 deputies, Fali and Faith P. Israel. That's it. Yep. They have no chairman, they have no gensec, they have no treasurer, nothing. They cannot open a bank account. I made this point before because the party doesn't have a constitution. All of these things are needed to open a bank account. We are now heading into the throes of a THA election where money going on spend. You want to see jerseys given out, big truck, all kind of bacchanal. How it paying for? You have no systems in place to account for where the money came from, how it's spent. Because if it ain't going in a bank account, you could say wherever you want. Well, we get $10,000 from this one. Or we held a barbecue. Or we had a cake sale. Or one cocoa does full basket. We pick up money from the membership. That's the thing they told us last time. One cocoa. But I go around and ask the members, you give any money? No. You give any money? No. You give? No. So, is only one man of a cocoa estate in Tobago? Apparently. Or is it that money came from a cocoa estate in Trinidad? I just asked him, right? So you have nothing in place for accountability with respect to expenditure for the election. Okay? Red flag. We ain't studying that. Forget that now. We don't need accountability. That's all right. The PNM has accountability. All right? Sure, the PNM have a bank account. Sure, the PNM has structure in place. Okay? Central executive, then they have the Tobago Council and so on. Right? So they have these things in place. Now let's create a scenario. Suppose the PDP wins and Mr. Duke is made as secretary, deputy chief secretary, and he probably gets some other department that he desires. Finance, infrastructure, a big money department. Yeah. And there is allegations of misappropriation, let us say. Now, Fali, as the chief secretary, has the authority to fire Mr. Duke if Mr. Duke is accused of any wrongdoing.
That's right.
What Fali will not have is the power to fire Mr. Duke based on the structure of their party. Because if Fali decide to play mad and fire Watson, Watson will simply say to him, hey, I is the boss now. Yeah, you leading the THA, the executive council. I in charge of the party. And if you ever want to contest another election under the PDP, you'll behave yourself. All right? And further to that, if you don't behave yourself, I will just simply organize the other PDP assemblymen, right? And we will move a motion of no confidence in you as chief secretary, and we will move your backside and put somebody who is a little more pliable, right? So stay in your lane. Behave yourself. You understand? Shh. Don't say nothing. The party has no organs to discipline Mr. Duke. He is El Capo de Tutti Capi, the boss of bosses. So what he says goes in the party, right? Whereas in the PNM, if Dr. Rowley played the fool, the party has structure to deal with him.
That's right.
So while he may be in charge of the cabinet, that is a position that he could lose very easily, right? Again, based on party structure. PNM has a constitution, which membership abides by, which allows for the removal of even the leader. You understand? PDP has no such thing. So, red flag, you all are happy to support a party that has no regard for structure, right? Because apart from Watson, Faith Be Israel and Fali have no desire whatsoever to put structure in place. Instead, they come up with this social contract to sign to say, if you engage in wrongdoing, you will be made to step down, right? No structure, nothing at all. 4 years now, nobody come and sit down and say, well, here, let me establish at least a bank account now, so we gotta try and sell that one cocoa story every time it have an election. It's only so long that story could last. Okay? And these are the questions the media should be asking Fali. How do you plan to fund your election campaign? How is this money to be collected? What record keeping do you have in place? And who's going to keep these records? Because you don't have, this is usually the work of the General Secretary and his secretariat.
Yeah.
They don't have that. So who is going to be keeping records to say, well, Bonnie Gregg gave us $5 and John Doe gave us $10. Who doing that? Or you have one of them old-time ledger that when he was in school, Bruce, and you're doing accounts and with them. Yeah, you're right, dog. This, you're right, dog. Yeah. Yeah. And as soon as you write it in pencil, as soon as you're supposed to walk out, you rub it off. That's $10 for me. Or they bring 20. That's 15 for me and 5 for the PDP. So you good. $100, 75 for me, 25 for the PDP. Yeah. Or 75 for me, 10 for the boss.
Oh, good.
So, if they cannot run a party properly, they're not willing to put structure in place to manage the finances of the party. What do you expect if they lead in the THA with $2 and $3 and $4 billion to manage? Where it's easier to thief, overspending in the PSA. The leader, the president, has no regard for the constitution of the organization. He has no regard for the organs of the organization, like the General Council, the Conference of Delegates, which I understand hasn't been held since 2012, and he doesn't care to call any, right? Yeah. He has no respect for that. Where the $4 million that he dropped on the back and crossed the road from FCB and went across to RBC. What to that? What that spend on? Well, they're asking that. And then they say Tobagonians are held to a higher standard and moral and ethics and opposed to Trinidadians because we are tricky Dadians, you know? But I don't know why. What's the Duke spoil all their reputation? Bad, but hey, are we boy? Who am I to speak? I was born in Trinidad. I was born in Trinidad and Tobago is my country of citizenship. But I'm a Trinidadian. So I can't speak on Tobago matters. I'll be fast and out of place to interfere all your back. But I just saying, you know? I just put it out there. Red flag. Yes, PNM red flag. We waving it for you. Okay? Right? If the Facebook red flag too small, we have big PNM red flag for you. And if I miss that one, well, something wrong. But when it is, as Patrick would say, you play fast and loose with your vote, and you give it to Mr. Duke, and bacchanal happen, no vex, support him. Just remember, the upholder worse than the thief. Yeah, I done there, Bruce. Good.
Tobago. Good morning. Callers, the lines are currently open. 342-0081, 466-5391. And listen to me, guys. Going forward, as Sharon said yesterday, let us be mindful that, you know, everybody wants to give a contribution, everybody wants to call in. So be mindful of the time that you take to give your contribution, okay? Let us do it in a timely manner so that everybody will have the opportunity to, as we just say, give their 2 cents. All right? Caller, good morning.
Bruce and Dominic, good morning to you all.
Morning.
Morning. Dominic, you all right?
Morning.
Well, Bruce, first of all, boy, you know, I want to send out condolences to the IEs and them there You know, we lost Carla last night here, you know. She in that. That's Russell mom.
Mm-hmm.
Russell's data mom here. She passed last night.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yes. It was really touching, you know, when I spoke to Russell, you know, she was really, but say what, you know. And so when that day reached Bruce, you got to go, you understand me? But Dominique and Bruce, I saw George to rule on the 3 seats that they went into Tobago and they increased the 3 seats. I saw George to rule on that, Dominique.
Yeah. That was in the papers,
Yeah. Right. I wait to see the outcome of that, Bruce and Dominique. I wait to see the outcome. And also, Dominique, I heard you touch on something. 16, the PS fired 19 contract workers. Dominique, could you tell me exactly what these contract workers was doing, how they were employed, they were in contract, what they was doing really, Dominique? Am I there with you or you there with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm rather interested to know what they were doing there, you know, because we never knew about that. And I want to touch again about this police station that's down in Penal Bros that nobody knew about. You understand me? Where do we go from here? But your partner, Watson Duke, Bruce and Dominique, you know what I blame, and you know who I blame? You see the General Counsel in PSA? I blame them. Bruce, you know what is the meaning of General Counsel? Whenever you go to General Counsel meeting and it's something not supposed to happen, you're supposed to stand up on your 2 feet and stand up, and you're not for that and you're not for that. So I blame them. But I'll tell you one thing. None of them are ready yet for Duke. You see, Duke the job. And Dominique and Bruce, don't take nothing. It's our people financing for election, eh? You hear what I'm telling you about? I ain't calling no name yet, but it have people financing Duke for election. I don't know if they're going by plane or boat to Tobago, but take what I am telling you. I gone.
Caller, good morning.
Morning, Dominic. Morning, Bruce.
Hey, morning.
Titans of democracy. Dominic, this morning, what you point out there is basic elementary, you know. If you want to put somebody in governor, and that's why that's can't take about the rocket science and the disingenuous media and the Illuminati and the literati and stuff like that. That's why that's can't take. If you had to put an organization in government, the organization, as time goes by, has to prove itself that it is an organization. If you understand, and apparently, like I just say, the only evolving institution in Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean, it's not the health chemistry, it's the PNM party, and there is no swell-headed thing, and there is no stupidness I talking, if you understand what I'm saying. And this is what they did in the last round there, in Mr. Patrick Manning round. And Mr. Patrick Manning warned us as much as he possibly could. They have no structure, they have no organization. So how could you put somebody or a group of people to run the country when they basically do not have structure and the intentions is less than desirable, if you understand what I'm saying. So we put there is common knowledge. And I hope people, use that deduction to understand that what you're witnessing now, it will just manifest as government, if they do put God out of the thoughts and make the mistake and put people like these. And that goes for the opposition also. So, Bruce, Mr. Dominic, you're talking logical facts. It may be a stretch for the illiterati. They may not be able to grasp what you're speaking about, but what you're saying there is basic and not rocket science. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Yeah, man. Take care. Caller, good morning.
Hi, morning, Dominic. Morning, Bruce.
Morning, Jenny.
Morning, Jen. 91.9. What Solomon Drew could have said, PS is a stubborn organization. There's no such thing because unions are under the financial regulatory the Ministry of Labor registered trade unions. So that again, he doesn't understand half the things he's saying. I just want to call this morning on Mr. Edward Laifuk, who is the registered trade union. I'm calling on him to initiate a forensic audit into the PSA. That audit you had there, one was initiated by a judgment by Frank C. Passad. So it shows again that Watson Duke is even in contempt of that. But I am calling now for the registered trade unions, Mr. Edward Laifuk, to initiate a forensic audit into PSA based on that audit that came out there from that company would have done it. What that will do, anybody who would have been found, as we've seen, have done anything wrong in terms of the financial PSA could be taken criminal charges could be laid. So that's what I'm going to say for now. And I hope that somebody who knows that gentleman, because we did drop in a letter, in fact, Comrade Nixon Calendar would have dropped in correspondence to him in March. In March, again speaking about all these things that this audit would have shown. And we want to also know what has happened with that fraud squad investigation where Mr. Kalinda would have stayed almost 4 hours in fraud squad, again giving his evidence or what they want to call it. We understand that a report was made, it was to be sent to the DPP. I don't know how true, but we are also waiting on that. The law can be for one and for some. So again, we and the trade union is not a sovereign organization. And we want a forensic audit, which is under the remit of the Register of Trade Unions, that he could initiate that. You will thank you and have a blessed one.
Thank you. So guys, the lines are open. You can call us up 342-0081 466-5391. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Coach.
Morning.
Hello?
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Dominic. I kind of need to so I'll be brief and fast. Something come to mind. What does the former UNC PP government, a former commissioner of police, and a trade unionist posing as a politician have in common? You know what have in common? Anytime they get a chance to spend taxpayers' money, it is the feeding frenzy for family and friends. Because from reports I hear too from other sources concerning the police service, a lot of inconsistencies, high-end practices, and I hear recently that the acting commissioner of police at this time has hired about 10 contract workers or something like that. And in closing, I want to say the reason for that debacle last week is because the tongue lashing the Attorney General put on the opposition leader. They had no choice but to try to obstruct things because they know there was unstrictness. You understand? And it was in the news too that this guy, Dr. What is his name again? Muniral. He said that the reason they walked out of the parliament during the budget debate was because of what the Attorney General said about the opposition leader. So all the things Dr. David Lee was saying about this, that, and the other, it wasn't making sense. So as I close, I just want to tell Dominic to keep up the work. As you see, as our caller said before, none of them have any, the PDP, they have no structural process as a party supposed to, as the PNM. And if people refuse to take the beam out of their eye and see what's happening politically, then heaven help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you much.
So guys, the lines are open. You can call us up. It's our relaxing Tuesday for me, yes. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Hey, man, how are you doing?
Morning, Mano. And all who listening to this voice around the world. This is Mano. Good morning to Jenny and Claudette out there in Florida. And good morning to our Jenny. Good morning to Patsy Street. Good morning to her girlfriend. Good morning to Miss Jean. Good morning to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, Bonner Gardens, and Mount Hope. MSS. Good morning to Paulina right here, right and close around here. Kumanova, good morning. Miss Tunapuna, good morning. It's Friday, good morning to everybody. Jackie and Jackie, good morning. For a few. I hear this it's not a good time, but when I hear I get frightened because I know they might take in the court for minor children. Anyway, Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, the word is not Rarawan. You want to say Raran, but you try to tie it up with Rarawan and they make a mistake. We're not making Skylark with that. You see, that way now we say there, that kick you out completely because we see we started standing up. And not this time we're sitting down is the only time you stand by you know you're sitting down. Like an Indian wedding is sitting down. No Polari for you.
Anyway, love to Trinidad and Tobago. Only give somebody something Christmas coming. You buy no clothing and all them kind of things. What you want from last year. And all you could eat dashing and conserve and things, forget the ham and all kind of thing. All you meat mouth. Bruce, I know that with somebody. Getting somebody getting no pork. Only eat pigtail and all kind of things. Gone.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce.
Morning.
And Dominic, Michelle, and Felix, all our listeners and callers, all who are on the live, a blessed morning. If you hear noise, they're cutting the steel up in Sogwa Chase right now. If you ever watching you, that noise, they gained it a good, a good booming.
Nice.
Dominic, thank you for all the information. And all you're talking about is Tobago. It's about set of people in Tobago, all you could preach high and hell waters. You was watching you. They don't like the PNM, if you was watching you. And it come like the indoctrination what the UNC have with their children, the indoctrination in Tobago. I listened to Mr. James. The doctor, all two is doctors, but the doctor of meth, Mr. James, he is telling the whole population why they didn't have a debate. A learned man like that speaking that crap with you of us. That is what's going with them, putting that kind of information outside there. I hear Hussein, Saddam Hussein and all coming and saying why they didn't have. It wasn't like that. And all of them know that. But they're putting the mess in the people's head that they should have a debate for them to query what went on in President House. President House is confidential. You know that, Ms. Bissessa. How many times did you visit Mr. Carmona when he was in the president and update him about the affairs going on in Trinidad and Tobago? Ms. Bissessa? All you want to know, Doctor, why you going there for? What did you do in your time? This is what's going on. And one more thing. Sorry. You see this thing with the the former police commissioner? It's deep in what he did for that 3 years. Everything high and mighty about the one shot, one kill and running down Zesters and Westers and everybody. And he realized that the administrative program within the police service was being dismantled for private. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have about 2 more minutes before we go to the break. Could probably take a call or two. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, to my brother Bruce Wayne.
Hey, morning, Andrew. How you doing?
Good afternoon,
Andrew.
Nice,
yeah,
man.
good morning to my brother Bruce Wayne. Good morning to my brother Dominic.
Morning, Andrew. Long time no here, boy. I was worried.
Yeah, I know I hear after God, man. After God, I just looking at the tricksters and them all part of the world.
Nah.
And I was listening carefully. But brother Dominic, I wanted to do something. There's a law that in place. The number of code. That law was put out there since after the Second World War. Yeah, humans must never wear masks again. Yeah, humans must never be tried. Vaccine must never be tried on human again. That law is put out there. Number of code. Yeah, that's meaning the number of countries that sign on to that law. And the World Health Organization break the law and have people wearing masks. And what I want to say too, what Europe? Since August I watching Europe, I was there watching them. And all of Europe, Spain, Italy, all them countries out there demonstrating without masks. If this thing was real, all of Europe supposed to dead by now. They're supposed to die by now. if it was so contagious and catch him. What did Ashley? Don't follow what I'm saying.
Andrew, you're gonna put me in trouble, boy.
No, I'm not watching on YouTube. I think on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
No, but we would get in trouble for what you saying. I understand what you're saying, but we would get in trouble for that. And we have to go to the break now because we just have a few seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Right.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
I want to address some issues. Big man, born in a poverty, but them thing I don't like. Every ghetto youth had to have the Benz park outside. A pretty girl passing my drink with two black eyes. You can't see life, nice, so nice, but they're talking. All your business out the road and they're walking. One traffic inside your shoes, so them parking. I can't put one bite on you, so we don't study them. Yo, because y'all give me health and strength. So what we do? Mash up that. How we do bad mind people. And them protect me back. So what we do? Hey, you see all bad mind people? Yo. Stay away. Away low. Big man, born in a poverty, but them thing I don't like. True, I say ghetto, but ghetto inside of your mind. Pick up the hustlers, them way, don't need no 9 to 5. You can't see life nice, so, but they're talking. All your business out the road, and they're walking. But traffic inside your shoes, for them barking. I want to see all hands up, so 1, 2, and put your hands on the air right now. Mash up. How we do bad mind people, shine with vehicles, and then protect me back. So what we do? How we do? All negative vibe. Stay away from them. Stay away.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families and honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Welcome the Christmas holidays this year with quality and attractive furniture from Stylus Furniture Limited. 2 locations, 51 Rushwood Street, San Fernando, and 101 Crackness Village in Princestown. Select from a wide range of contemporary furniture to enhance your homes. Now open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call today, 652-2542. Season's greetings to all our customers and friends from Stylus Furniture Limited. Stylus Furniture Limited. For this time in you.
After all the talk during the week, don't switch off on the weekend and keep it on the street. It's classic soca and classic kaiso when you're liming with the live wire on Saturdays from 5 to 7 p.m. only on the street 919 FM.
The Huddle Room reopens in partnership with Maracas Bacon Shock on Monday, October 18th. That's right, seaside flavor is in Central. Bacon Shock, aloo pies, kingfish, shrimp, and a daily menu of lunchtime favorites like stew chicken, macaroni pie, curry chicken, pilau, and so much more. Follow The Huddle Room and taste Maracas on social media. Bacon Shock is served from 10 a.m. and lunches from 11 a.m. We'll see you and your taste buds on Monday. The Huddle Room and Maracas Bacon Shock, the best of both worlds.
There's only one way to start your week right, and that's with Dr. Livette. Join him right here on your radio every Thursday morning at 9:10 a.m. for your dose of the health and wellness in a program that is sure to change your life. Popular for promoting Livette rather than diet, Dr. Livette has transformed a number of lives nationwide and is now live on the street 919 FM every Thursday from 9:10 a.m. Tune in on Thursday and also learn about the U-Juice to build your immunities and promote overall great health. Dr. Livette on the street 919 FM this and every Thursday from 9:10 a.m. It's time that you live.
What is Apex? It is the pinnacle of high-performance vision through a lens. It's clarity, no matter what angle you look at. It's comfort, no matter what you do all day, every day. And it's customized, with every digital measurement your eyes require to see at their very best. Apex Digital Lenses by Value Optical, the ultimate lens design for your eyes. Value Optical, expert care for your eyes.
Good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488?
Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I can buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arrowbita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 63 Tools.
All right. Thanks, boss. Nah, man. Granny,
do you have $488 to lend, man?
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly of numbers 399 Eastern Main Road, Guayco, Sangre Grande, is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guest Sundays, Tuesdays, and Friday night, Sunday Ministry of Worship, Children Hour and the Word from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. and Friday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. All night prayer for our nation. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org on Facebook. Email us to @The First Citizens Bank.
Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
The Street 91.9 FM brings you today's tips to improve your financial literacy. Improving your financial literacy is a never-ending endeavor that needs to be prioritized. As you work on improving your financial literacy, it's important to continue your momentum. Here are your tips. Pay attention to your fees. Understanding the fee structure and the amount you have been paying on a monthly or even annual basis in regards to fees associated with financial services is extremely important. Account service fees, annual financial planning service fees, investment account management fees, you name it. If you haven't reviewed and audited your fees yet, I recommend that you sit down and make this a priority. That was your financial tip brought to you by the Street 91.9 FM.
This is the Street 919 FM COVID-19 updates. In case you missed it, the latest COVID positive cases in TNT as of October 25th, 2021 stands at new positive cases 117. Total active cases 4,573. Total recovered patients 49,575. Total positive cases for COVID-19 as of March 2020 to present 55,798. Follow the Ministry of Health COVID-19 protocols. Wear your mask, sanitize, social distance, and avoid gatherings. A message from the Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Yo, this is your boy Ziggy Rankin, and right now you're listening to the Titans of Democracy. You don't know. Real talk.
So welcome back on the inside, and just a bit of information for you. Welcome the Christmas holidays this year with quality and attractive furniture from Stylus Furniture Limited. Our two locations, number 51 Rushworth Street, San Fernando, and 101 Cragness Village in Princestown. Select from a wide range of contemporary furniture to enhance your homes. Now open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can call us at 652-2542. Season's greetings to all our customers and friends from Stylus Furniture Limited. Stylus Furniture Limited, for the style in you. There's something for everyone at Lowlands Mall, Tobago, where you and your entire family can enjoy a safe and superior shopping experience. All of your favorite stores, service outlets, and of course food court outlets are now open and ready for your visit. The food court takeaway is still available, or you can dine in with a valid vaccination card. All COVID-19 protocols continue to be in place for the safety of all visitors to the mall. And remember, no mask, no entry. Visit Tobago's #1 family destination today, Lowlands Mall Tobago, with comfortable air-conditioned shopping and lots of secure parking. Tell your friends and family Lowlands Mall Tobago is open and ready for your visits. Value Optical wishes to advise the public that all 13 branches will now be open full-time to provide expert eye care services to you. All of our regular services are now available. For your safety, we continue to practice the established health and safety protocols, and we recommend that you make an appointment for all testing services. Please call us at 225-4865 or toll free 800-2020 for all inquiries on opening hours, eye testing availability, and how we can assist your eye care needs. Value Optical, caring for your eyes. For all your hardware, building materials, auto parts, small tool rentals, pets and pet supplies, gravel and sand, don't forget PowerMaster, Optima Vata and Megastar batteries starting from $488. And it's all at Johnny Q, number 15, Arpita Avenue, Woodbrook, and our new Johnny Q Superstore in Lowlands Mall, Tobago, off Claude Noel Highway. Just call 632s. So guys, welcome back. Dominic?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so we continue to take the calls.
Yep.
Nice. So guys, you can call us at 342-008-146-5391. Caller, good morning.
Blessed morning to you, bro.
Hey, morning, my brother. How are you
morning
doing?
to you, Dominic. Sharon.
Morning, sir.
And by extension, the Titans of Democracy. Well, how I could describe that scene last night, was it a play, a skit, or whatever it, but the bottom line is, let me see if I can put this thing in a nutshell. The talk about finance. Well, I'm ready for that. We ain't going to forget that the central bank governor tell you we only had 3 days money to run the country. The talk about forming the UNC and how the UNC formed. This woman disrespect a previous prime minister in this country. The parts can't change the spot. And the star and co-star. Oh my goodness. Well, boy, what next? What next? Wasting time. Wasting time. Dominic, I hear you calling on the man to form a party. It had to be a collision. Griffith and them had to form a collision. These people were sickening. No one never ever about country. Never ever about Trinidad and Tobago. I love money bad, but afraid jail. I locked out and listen as usual. Morning, Mommy Sauce, Mr. Child, Bataria, oil researcher. Andrew, what's your content? Manu, locked out as usual. Oh, God. Oi, shack lady.
And let me say condolences to Mommy Sauce as her granny passed over the weekend. So condolences to you and the entire family, Mommy
Indeed.
Sauce. Yes.
Yeah,
so,
condolences. Indeed.
Yes. From us here at the Street 909 FM, Titans of Democracy, to you and your entire family, my dear. She was
It's been a tough year for
a very strong lady, you know, Dominic.
Yeah,
Granny
to
was
lose your
easy.
mom and your grandmom in the same year.
Strength to you, my dear. So, guys, we continue to take your calls. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
I'm a full-time caller.
Welcome. Where are you calling from?
Central.
Say again?
From Central.
Okay.
I have noticed for the past few years the conduct of this UNC party. But presently, I don't want to carry on too long.
Mm-hmm.
Presently, what I'm seeing they're doing, when I heard Ms. Kamala from the beginning, in 2010, she said there'll be blood flowing on the street if they lose. In 2020, Ronald Munilal said the government would not last 2 years. Presently, what I'm seeing, we are within the 2 years still. Presently, what I'm seeing, they try to make an upset in the country. For Dr. Ravi call election. Because when I look at it the other evening, on Aisha's program, Google was there, a woman called in, and the first thing she looked into is, call election. I don't understand how these people can behave like that. because they're just making commerce in the country. It is very sad to know that they're in opposition and they're getting on like unsensible people. So I believe I'll stop at that because I don't want to keep too long.
Okay, my friend.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Take care. Thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, man.
And if I would just add to what he said, and the opposition seems to be missing one fundamental point here, which is only way the UNC could ever win another election in this country is with crossover appeal. You cannot win with UNC supporters alone. And say to draw PNM supporters, you might have some disgruntled people who support the PNM and who might say, well, like in 2010, I've vexed with Patrick, so are supporting the UNC. But in large measure, it's the people who are on defense. Yeah. And this type of behavior does not augur well for these people to support you. When That's you could jump down the throat of independent senators who have the right to vote as they choose, you, Kamala Persad-Bissessel, at the beginning of the vote spoke about conscience vote. Let the people vote their conscience. And you were asking them, you vexed because they didn't support your party, to vote on a motion, to vote yes on a motion for which you had no evidence, as you admitted, for which you had no facts, for which you admitted. So let us vote to remove the president, and we have no basis on which to do so, right? You want a debate, again, no facts, no evidence. So the only thing that debate would have constituted would have been Movelang, Bacanal, Janjat, to drag the president's name through the mud, more so than has already been done by two of your senators. You condemn the independent senators for criticizing your members, for crying shame on them for not supporting your motion, calling them PNM, right? And it's on video for all to see. There was no condemnation of your members to tell them, hey, that is not the type of behavior that is expected in the parliament. The people have a right to vote, let them vote how they wish, how they feel. Who are you to cry them down, to call them PNM and call shame because they didn't vote in the manner that you wanted? But you have refused to upbraid David Nackett. You refused to upbraid the Doglaya, Anil Roberts, and you expect civic-minded citizens who vote on issues to support you. And you have your contemporaries, the likes of Martin Daly, Ramesh Lawrence Maraj, Martin George, Avery Sinanan, Gregory Delzin. All of these are legal luminaries who have all said that you were wrong. The speaker was right in the way that she conducted the affairs last week, Tuesday. And more attorneys are coming out and saying the speaker was correct. But you have your neophyte lawyers on your team telling you, no, you're right, you were correct. Let us pursue this because this is the only way you could give this thing legs. The population is fed up. We're tired of that matter. Let us move on, right? Let us move on to other things.
Caller, good morning.
I'm on again, Ben.
Yeah, morning,
I
Johnny.
too want to send out condolences to Mommy Source and her family, giving her that strength and joy, love and blessings. Because I always hear her speak about her grandmother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always hear her when she calls you, sometimes she'll mention the grandmother and how strong she going and that. So I want to give her that strength this morning and all joy blessings. Yesterday, Senior Counsel Ramesh Lawrence Maraj, who was once Attorney General in this country on the UNC, he would have agreed with the stance that the Speaker of the House would have made, Mrs. Bridget Anissa George, and found that she would have followed the Constitution to the T. She didn't have any room to go outside of that, because had she done that, it would have opened up a different kind of worms. So he said that she did the right thing. We must not forget Mrs. Kamala Persad's statement at her press conference after that fateful day on Thursday, when she would have called persons of African descent on the PNM bench Rawan. We're in the month of Diwali and Ram Leela. And that word Rawan carries a very significant meaning in the Hindu community. People go look at it. I wouldn't go into details. And finally, it is unfortunate that our brothers and sisters in Tobago sometimes would tell us stay out of Tobago business. While I respect that, my passport stamps Trinidad and Tobago. So anything that is happening in Tobago, while I may not live there, I think I earned the right to have a conversation on it and have an input in it, because we are joined together. You are twin states, republic states. And we are saying that we in Trinidad, I'm sure, reject Watson Solomon Duke for all the things that we know has been happening. And they themselves in Tobago should not be blinded by the fact he's a young man and he's nice. Because one woman tell me, he look like anybody, could rape anybody. He's a nice man, you're jealous of man because he's a good leader. I am not interested in all that. We have the evidence to prove that he is not a good leader. And you all should understand the evidence of that and move to suit. But if you all choose him, ain't not much we could do. But we will have a voice and speak on Tobago affairs because we are from Trinidad and Tobago. Love all my Tobagonian brothers and sisters. Bye.
Thank you. Three 4200814665391. Caller, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Hey, morning.
Morning to my financial guru. How are you, my brother?
Morning.
Morning, sir. You know, it's difficult to understand why it is want to say dunce. But I heard a man last night telling me the document that went to the speaker, and I'm throwing this out to the people who want to tell people on a Saturday evening, Piper, that they dunce. 250 words, not so, Dominic? The letter that is going from the opposition leader to the speaker is supposed to consist of 250 words. I'm going with what Moonilal said last night. So if you're going to impeach the president, that 250 words letter is supposed to consist of the evidence of what the president did. Not so? So when you read that document in the parliament, you're supposed to say the president stole so-and-so, or the president was in breach of the police service commission person coming to the president. That is what your 250-page letter is supposed to consist and confine the actions of the president within that 250 words and explain what was done and why she should be impeached. That wasn't said. So you want to come now, after you read that, to come to paint a verbal picture of what you assume. So you come with conjecture and lies, allegedly, to put the president into a particular position based on what? On your assumption and question. No evidence. And we must sit back and accept that. So now Moonilal and all of them trying to convince their supporters that their democracy was suppressed because they didn't get to say. And their 250-page letter was concise, but no evidence in your 250-word document against the president. And you know what? We have a problem with our marketing. I heard already this morning with that. That is not the same corporation who say they have no money. And people complaining about the road. So which is more important? The people in the market protesting, the place flooding out. Won't you think that I would have taken the money and all the workers and fix the drain and the road? And but you see, Bruce, you was quite right. The idea for the illiterates is to convince them that the corporation is not run by the UNC, but is run by Keith Christopher Rowley. You understand that, Janjat? Enjoy your day.
Well, good morning.
Yeah, morning, and Dominic. Now, Lion, Farley, and Duke, they want to tell people that they're truthful. Dominic, you see the contract they talk about? That is sure the intention from the beginning is to make sure that everything corrupt. You must watch it, because that is all about it, you know. The opposition to the Trinidad and Tobago government and the PNM love corruption. They love it. And they vex in everything that this PNM doing that doesn't hold corruption within it.
if it had thing with corruption, you'd have hear them, they got up all on the desk and all and stamping. They would not be stamping with the hand, they'd be stamping with their foot to tell the Trinidad and Tobago, look at corrupt government, the PNM. But they can't do that. Look at what's going on in Tobago. They gain out contracts. So you're telling me, people who are the PNM, listen to us saying it, mustn't get no contract from the PNM? They must give it out to other people before them. The pie is there for everybody to eat. And Dr. Rowley, you see the small man, he must eat any pie too. You understand what I'm saying? This is what's going on. But Mr. Fali and Mr. Duke, only just remember, when Mr. Duke say he didn't get the money from the PSA, and Fali back him, when Duke come out and bust the mark that the money was taken to have a gala event for the opening up of the PDP, he had to just back line Fali and Duke. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. So, guys, you can call us up 342-00814665391. Tobago, wait. But Tobago locked on. I hear my Tobago people. What's going on? Caller, good morning.
Morning. To that caller just now, Bruce Wayne, I am frightened about Tobago. A man who's on a rape charge representing Tobago. I saw 5 of my brothers from Tobago went on a boat. I have a clip to send from Grenada. 5 of my brothers left here on a boat to drive 100 miles to go and rob a bank and get caught and look like fools. Have you seen the mother, father, sister, brother yet making noise, acting for these fellas? That is to tell you the level of embarrassment. And you know why that's taking place? Because of the character of the man who's trying to represent Tobago. I tell them there was a Tobagonian, or they understand moral and spiritual values. Trinidadians used to look up to Tobagonians. After that garbage with them, that makes me start to look like all that we come from Lavantil, the same way that we want to describe the people of Lavantil. And what Duke is head of that. That is the legacy, or that is the reputation, or that is the look what they want for the young people at Tobago. Enjoy it. That is kind of put on a particular line, and if we see the line already 100 miles, and get caught in Grenada and look like fools and have to spend 30 years. Enjoy it. And then our next one, there's a next one with some cocaine before them, fellas and them. Enjoy it. So that you understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah.
And here we're going on. Them who robbed the bank just recently. There's one who turned state witness to tell me one in 2019 or somewhere. They went and robbed the bank before, Bruce Wayne. They not the first time. Okay. Enjoy it.
You.
And then, Bruce, you have this clown, this counterfeit 1%er, Philip Alexander, putting up on his Facebook page. He put up the same video that I talk about the 5 guys who went Karakuta. Yeah. Legacy of the PNM exporting hold-up bandits to distress other countries.
What?
Yeah.
But we just, so long we come out from, we didn't get rid of here according to the people.
Yeah.
Man, listen to me, stay in the political graveyard and don't be talking no such a stupidness, eh?
The man see an opportunity, boy. He had an opportunity. He do a live a couple of days ago. And he was talking about, after Abu Bakr died. Condolences to his family, by the way. And, he was talking about, people, let's get vexed with him when people die, and he says certain things, and he talked about Franklin Khan and how he said Franklin Khan rot in peace, and how Franklin Khan thieved so much money, and kind of thing, and then Malcolm Jones and this one and that one. So he's waiting to hear what people say about Bakr before he says what he has to say. They say monkey know which street to climb, right? Because if he had jumped out of his crease and ill-spoken, the imam would be a horse of a different color. Yeah. He ain't saying that he can go down too far. But I've never done a Facebook live, Bruce. But the day this individual mercifully expires, if I'm still around, I'll make an exception. Yes. If only to say good riddance to bad rubbish.
An exception or an example?
That would be the only time I would do a lie. This man is disgusting. He is repugnant. He is repulsive. And he figured that that can get him into office, right? That type of politics will get him into office. He's even, I would go so far as to say that he is worse than Naked and Douglaya put together. He has no regard for anybody, right? He's a disgusting human being. And even to call him a human being is an insult. But he has followers. Yeah, that's to tell you the mindset of the citizens of this country. And yesterday I heard, I think it was Mount St. George who had called in, and he was talking about, people on the ground in Tobago, talking about Duke and his PNM machinations and all this kind of thing, and Duke is a good boy, and I don't understand it, We have nothing personal against what Duke, nothing. We are simply speaking about what is in the public domain, right? Since this man has been the head of the PSA, you've been hearing of all these shenanigans. The PSA finances in a mess. You heard Jennifer Baptiste-Primus articulate what she would have left and what the PSA has now become, where their finances are. And for Mr. Duke to not try and defend, to simply say that the PSA is a sovereign organization and it regulates its own finances and what's done, and that is to the General Council. But there is evidence to show you've not been consulting the General Council, and the audit speaks to an excessive amount of reimbursements to the president. And I would love to see a list of what these reimbursements are, and where is Mr. Duke getting the money from to spend on these things that he has to be reimbursed for. These are questions to be asked. So but you see, and this is what these people need to be mindful of. You undertake the expenditure without approval, and then after it is done, you come now to claim for reimbursement. So you're not seeking prior approval to say, well, yes, no, don't do it. I don't do it already, so I have to pay me back. And people not seeing anything wrong with that. So if you become Deputy Chief Secretary, you could expend money on anything without approval of the Executive Council, and then what? And this is what you all want? And talking about you want change? There's the change you want?
Make a bigger jail. Caller, good morning.
Morning, Bruce.
Morning, mother. How you doing?
Well, boy, since what time you have me, I tell all you, I just send money to pay me phone bill, Anyhow, Dominic, morning. Sharon, everybody, morning. Dominic, I can't remember the exact words you said about the PDP and signing some letter or some form, but my understanding, I would think...
social contract.
If they caught... Are you hearing me good?
Yes, we're hearing you good, mother. Go ahead. Okay.
If they're caught in any wrongdoing or any corruption thing, they have to answer, whether maybe to him or whatever it is. That's an election gimmick. You see, the Biden said that since the Formie Party. Since the audit report came out with the name banging and banging, he wants to let people, his supporters and other people feel he's so straight that he take it into his hand to discipline his members. I'm not what they think I am, right? So that is an election gimmick. So if somebody say, me not vote for you because A, B, C, D, they say, what are you talking? Let's see disciples to discipline them if they do anything wrong. That is an election gimmick, me telling all you. And coming back, I see some people marching and making noise for water somewhere down Penal area. What happened to water for all? And they had it going. It should have been there all these years. And somewhere along the line, as if the opposition leader said, it's the first time they have the country without a commissioner of police. After those Canadian people went back, we had a commissioner of police before Mr. Barry and Dominic.
Yeah.
Do you hear it?
Yes, we hear it loud and clear, mother.
Yes. I don't know if they had a commissioner of police after those people went back. So I don't understand why the word LIES is what they decide to live by and run this country by. Anyhow, all you go on. You have a good day.
You too, mother. Take care.
So I don't...
Caller, good morning.
Hi, morning, Bruce. Morning, Dominic.
Hey, morning,
Sharon. Very good. After the passionate contribution by my colleague from Maritaria, Now, Bruce, one of the things that people don't understand, that is so painful out here as an African man, to see how African people, some without pride, and some not understanding that whatever you do out there would give a sort of, not so much a pushback, but it brings into forward the whole question of Dr. Rowley, as to how people feel about, not PNM people, you know, but African people who out there, the UNC, and all of them believe, Philip Alexander, all of them believe that the conduct of an African man is responsibility of the PNM, you know. We can't get away from that. It's so tough in that you have African people within the PNM, within the UNC, taking embarrassment big time. Big time. Almost, I heard the woman said in a contribution, songing a little bit under the influence about Wawawan, and I know what she meant. And African people in that party enduring that. And this is what I keep telling African people, that the pride, we always think about what the government could do for us. No problem in that. But you know what? It's also what you can do in response. There is no way. We know that we are coming from behind, so to speak. But we have to build some family, education, economic, and everything else. I want to compliment us, though, that we're still in the majority with some additional right-thinking people to ensure that leadership is organized in our country. Because once you give it to Kamala Prasad and Dee, as she made a point, and Dominic, you could look into that. Kamala Prasad said she is the one, the PNC is the one, when the PNM run the country to the ground, so to speak, her party is the one to bring it back on course. Words to that effect. And I said, but where the he got up? I know she's talking about the NAR during the time of the hardship and where oil prices, you know, were low and that type of thing. And Mr. Robinson had, you know, the hard task of putting the country back on stream. But when you look at the UNC under Mr. Pandey, there is no way Kamala Prasad could compare the People's Partnership to any other government in this country. There is no, you talk a first. What keeps to me is that when you have a company with $16 billion and under your leadership from a private residence, you don't know where it went. And I don't know who is the advisor, Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa. But my African people want you to understand, anything happens in this country, Philip Alexander, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, and the African people within the UNC, the two fathers, will all make you feel that we no good, we disorganized, we go to commit crime, and that is far from the truth. We are organized bunch of people that have a lot of work, Bruce and Dominic, to get ourselves back on stream. And once we remain with the leadership under Dr. Rowley, I tell you later, I tell you thinking of Watson Duke have the same model like Kamala Prasad, you know. Tell you that you don't come and get $300 and go to the grocery. Instead of giving you have to go? You have to go?
No, go ahead.
Instead of giving an opportunity for you to have $300 of pocket change, and that it's called a job. Stop looking at what you can do, because my colleague from Baritoria said it, you know. They bring everything in the line of what they believe we look like and what we're good for at 10 days and so on. And Tobago is heading in that direction. If you all lose the key of our brain, as you will people say, and put Watson Duke as the leader of your country there, Tobago, you've been warned there. You've been warned. Go and talk to all the young people. Look at longevity and not short term. Give me. Bruce and Dominic, thanks a lot.
Yeah, man.
Take care and enjoy the day.
You too, man. Take care. Caller, good morning.
Hello, morning again, Bruce and Dominic.
Morning.
You know, that's Rowley Jr., right?
Yeah.
Right. You raise a very important point there, brother. How these people feeling, boy? Taking all that licks, seeing black people getting licks with racism and all they quiet because all they have a little support, I guess, boy. You know, that's a very serious issue there, you know, in terms of how they sucking up, how they swallowing all that embarrassment being a black person, being an African person, and staying in that party, not saying anything. They did the same thing in Mr. Manning's time. Yeah, everybody now. Oh, they should vote against Manning. Manning is the supreme leader. Remember that, Dominic? Remember that, Mr. Bartara? Oh, Mr. Manning.
moving against the supreme leader, and nobody's coming up against it. But one law for the UNC, one law for the PNM. Nobody not chastising the supreme leader, the Sith Lord, Kamala, in terms of nobody ain't coming up against the nonsense. As I say, when all the bills come in to develop the country, and those bills are not PNM bills, those bills are Trinidad and Tobago bills, and they denying the country the progress, nobody ain't saying anything, not one of the senators coming up against it or making a stand or anything with a weak mind, and I'm very disappointed people of African descent in that part, where they're taking all that jamming, keeping quiet, watching your brother getting licks on the ground. You ain't even saying, well, stop. Nothing. So I'm very embarrassed. And in closing, I really want to uplift in closing this issue with the Speaker of the House. She really deserves the ORTP. That moment in time where she maintained and she was correct. And, you know, like I said, Dominic, PNM scoring the goalpost already submerged in the sea outside on the foreshore. They still score. I think that lady deserves the ORTP for her role in what took place in the parliament, the nation lockdown and
yeah, man. Dominic. So, guys, you know, around this time, as you know, I like to play my little parang because it's the season. But I'm gonna take this call before I do so. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Bruce and Dominic.
Hi, good morning, and how are you this morning?
I am good. I'm good, and yeah, you know, as the caller said, the speaker deserves, you know, award. And when I was listening to the parliament that day, I got so frustrated, you know, and I wanted to turn up. And then my mind told me, think about the speaker. She was calm, cool, orderly, and did her job the way she's supposed to do it, without bias, without fear. And I said, why should I turn off my radio? She's in the heat. And that's when I continued to listen. I may have had some break between. And I said, yes, this is a lady who is in charge of the job, you know? And I want to say God blessing to her. Yes. And I'm saying, Bruce and Dominic, I'm wondering too, is the PNM doing a good job that these people are not convinced that the PNM is doing the right thing for them, you know? Because I can't see so many things are being done. And if somebody, I'm not saying it is done, if somebody should pay you to go to them, something must tell you that it's not right. All they have to do is convince you. Instead of you going to the beach and saying, oh, we're going to fix that, because that's the tourism, and even relaxation and socialization of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. But what about all the land that you have where you can produce, you can buy machinery, you know, things that you can motivate the people into doing, producing things, instead of we importing things from abroad. Why can't we? Because you're doing agriculture. And because they said one time Tobago was the food basket of Trinidad and Tobago. So why can't they motivate the people? I'm not talking about the PNM. I'm talking of people who talking foolishness in the air of the Tobago people to say, vote for me. Why aren't they motivating them into business industry? You know? Look where they have to go to spend some years in jail for a little bit of money. If they should go for 30 years, you know how much thing they could have done? While some fishing, Bruce and Dominic, others could be on land, right? How do you call it? This ice thing. Making ice. Preparing the ice. That's an industry for them and other fishermen and other people who selling meat, right? And when they come ashore, the ice for the meat, people would come and buy, you know, a big industry. Are they motivating them into that? No, going to the beach and saying, I will do this for you. I think the PNM has done well to help the people in agriculture. And people can't say anything. Anything. And I'd really want to get into agriculture sometime, some other talk, but not now. So, because I don't want to stay long, Bruce. All right. So have a pleasant morning to you all.
You too, my dear. Take care and thanks for calling. Dominic Tune.
E-R-X.
I'm supposed to get the video for the new song sometime this week.
Oh, okay, nice, nice. You in it?
No. I wasn't able to make it. I was to work the weekend, but I was watching part of it and production nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Well done again.
But when we reach when he wife cooking, and it's a funny smell we getting, but we drinking and we liming, we paranging and we dancing, we all talking and skylarking. When he wife, well, she come out and say, now it's time for dining. We ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. We ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. What's smelling so? I don't know. Eating nothing that's smelling so. We ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. What's smelling so? I don't know. Well, guy, he jump up, say like he have bad luck, because he gets pick up and the thing it won't stop. I tell him don't get frightened, boy, just don't think nothing. When we reach by the next neighbor, well, we will eat something. We ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. We ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. What's smelling so? I don't know. Eating nothing that's smelling so. We ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. What's smelling so? I don't know. When she keep howling because he belly growling, he say he ain't eat nothing since 12 o'clock this morning. But the smell compelling, and there is no telling what this woman cooking. He ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. Me ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. What's smelling so? I don't know. Me ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. Me ain't eating nothing that's. Hey, Brethren, bring a flask. I ain't taking off my mask. A straw could pass, so I could sip the flask. You know it will not last, but we'll have a blast. You cannot say this parangam never pass. Yeah, we ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. We ain't eating nothing that's smelling so. What's smelling so? I don't know. We eating nothing that's smelling so. We ain't eating nothing that. Yeah, what's smelling so? I don't know.
Christmas I want mucho dinero, mucho dinero. Let me go. Dance around the table, dance up. Get up if you're able, get up. Dance around the table, dance up. Let me jump, let me jump. Dance around the table, dance up. Get up if you're able, get up. Dance around the table, dance up. Let me jump, let me jump. Christmas season, people ready for shopping, waiting for somebody to release the money. I said Christmas season. Women, they're waiting for somebody to release the money. If you don't have none, find it. If you can't find none, borrow it. If you didn't get none, don't study it. The most important, we live in. We will still have fun. We will still around. Sorrel and ginger beer. We will have anywhere.
Remember, guys, we're still taking your calls while the music playing. I don't feel we ain't taking your calls. 342-0081 4665391.
This Christmas I want mucho dinero.
So you can call us up. Yes. Caller, good morning.
Morning again, Bruce.
Morning.
I got the news late.
Uh-huh.
And I send condolences to Mommy Source and her family. Cambridge Analytica, God knows, we're locked down.
Yeah, man.
Couldn't take no more, and I open up my door. What's my neighbor Mary, who living next to me? I say, girl, where you come here for? Where you want? But before I close up my door, she said,
Caller, good morning.
Good morning. I want to tell you, I see we ain't posting nothing I'm looking for. But the table, guys.
Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I listened to the opposition leader, how she talking there, and what comes to my mind is her own supporters, right? I mean, they will have some of them, right, who will support her in the foolish schedule, right? They go a long time, right? Have some of them. I fully believe it have most of them, right? Who not going long down, they know the constitution. As they say, they went and they cut cane and they sent them to school again in education. It's have some of them who thinking right and know that she wrong, but they realize what it is they do and it's not coming back with, so they're trying to attack now everything else. In closing, this to me is the straw that breaks Camel's back. And can let them know that. I ain't seen no coming back there at all. It's history created, you know. History created, and I thank God to be alive today to see this happen. You understand? And she's going to pay the price for that. I just wonder if in the Constitution have some part where, like for what they have done then, if the opposition leader could be expelled then from the parliament then. We need something like that. We need something like that so that this will never happen again. We need to do something about this and amend the law or bring about some changes so that will never happen again. Once again, Camilla, that is the end of it for Eden. Thank you for my contribution.
Thank you. Let me say happy birthday to Jamari Antoine. Happy birthday to you, my friend. Comes from your entire family.
Thank you, Fernandez. Thank you, Fernandez. For naming me children. For naming me children. Thank you, Angostura. You make me a profile.
Caller, good morning.
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 The only DJ that plays the music while others make noise.
You make me a proud father. Yes, sir. You see me son hit every Christmas on everyone's list. Me twins and pick you before Christmas he done pass through. By me and you go down by La Luna. You go meet my Spanish daughter.
So guys, we are almost out of time. My daily word for today is give. I give freely and with love. Spiritual leaders teach the importance of giving, helping the undeserved, and encouraging the disheartened. It is not the measurable quantity of what I give, but the spirit with which I give that matters most. The love I feel multiplies my giving, and it expands in every widening circles of blessings. My gifts may inspire the recipient to give something as simple as a kind word of encouragement or a thoughtful gesture. My gifts return to bless my life in unexpected ways. I give with love, with no expectation of return from the recipient. I broaden my perspective, mindful that the good I share will return to me at the perfect time in the perfect way. He said, "Truly I tell you, this poor widow has put in more than all of them, for all of them have contributed out of their abundance, but she, out of her poverty, has put in all she had to live on." Luke 21:3-4. So guys, that's all the time we have for today. It was a pleasure being in your company. It was a pleasure having you in ours. I'll be back here tomorrow with the lovely Miss Sharon Felix, and again on Thursday with Mr. Dominic Romaine. So Dominic, as we say, ciao. See you guys.
You make me a proud father. Say it harder. Thank you, Fernandez. Thank you, Fernandez. For naming me children. For naming me children. Thank you, Angostura. You make me a proud father. Yes, sir. Abagot and them file. That girl wicked and fine. Always in the latest style. That the one who have no child. The big son feel he's a king. Always in everything. Every parang function, every parang set. They bring him out and I sing. Thank you, Fernandez.
Street 919 FM has been asked to announce the passing of Jeffrey Murray, who departed this life on Friday, the 22nd of October 2021, at the age of 77 years. He was the son of the late Stella Nicholas, husband of Miriam Marlene Duncan, father of Melissa Martin Joseph, stepfather of Petal Bristol, brother of Victoria Murray, grandfather of Niquia August, uncle of Carlos Sterling, Calvin Sterling, and others, father-in-law of Kalon Joseph, friend of Aletha Daniel, Nigel Daniel, Reynold, and Colin. The funeral service for the late Jeffrey Murray takes place at Simpsons Memorial Limited Chapel, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Lavantil, on Wednesday, the 27th of October 2021 at 8 a.m. Thence for cremation at the Clark and Battle Crematorium, Trabbit Road, Woodbrook. For more inquiries, you can contact Simpsons Memorial Limited at 623-8688.
Expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
You got me wanting more. And when you touch my soul.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
Room reopens in partnership with Maracas Bacon Shock on Monday, October 18th. That's right, seaside flavor is in Central. Bacon Shock, aloo pies, kingfish, shrimp, and a daily menu of lunchtime favorites like stew chicken, macaroni pie, curry chicken, pilau, and so much more. Follow the Huddle Room and taste Maracas on social media. Bacon Shock is served from 10 a.m. and lunches from 11 a.m. We'll see you and your taste buds on Monday. The Huddle Room and Maracas Bacon Shock, the best of both worlds.